You can just press that. Yeah. So yes, we are live here at Four Quarters Art and Books in downtown DC, across the street from the convention center. I have here with me Sia Alexander of Pure Legos African Art Gallery, Norfolk, Virginia. And welcome.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad that we were able to do this. We're here doing a pop-up within a pop-up. We have so many wonderful pieces that you brought with you from Norfolk, all the way from Nigeria. And it's just been we had a lovely reception. It's filled with such a spirit of joy and vibrancy. Really appreciate that. And so before we get into the spirit of Umoja art, which is the title of this pop-up, tell us a little bit about yourself and where you grew up and what got you into art.
Well, I grew up in Norfolk, Virginia, and my family on both sides go back to the beginnings of the colony of Virginia. And that's as far as we can trace our lineage. Though through our DNA, we are 85% Nigerian, correct? Yeah. And that Nigerianness or Africanness has been evident informally in our family from as far back as I can remember. And when I came of age and met actual Nigerians, the synergy, the link, the camaraderie was amazing. It was like I was coming home, meeting my family. So one thing led to another, and I now find myself a curator of African art, specializing in Nigerian contemporary. And it all kind of makes sense. Spiritually, I'm connected to that place in ways that are deeper than this lifetime. Emotionally, I'm stirred by the art, the creativity, the music, the culture, the energy of Nigeria in ways that are not normal. Considering that I'm not from there. And physically, I have lived and worked in Nigeria for many, many years. I've had businesses there. I'm married to Nigeria. I've done so much work with the community in Lagos, with the children, making art, making music, making food, being creative in healing the traumatic link between coastal West Africa and coastal Virginia. Because the reason why we are family and we feel each other in the way that I do and many Black Americans do with Nigerians and Ghanaians and Senegalese is because that's where we're from. We were forcibly brought from the shores of West Africa to the shores of North America and beyond, throughout the globe, via the transatlantic trade. So my mission is to recolor that link, that traumatic link, through the sharing of art, to make it healed and softened by bringing over the Atlantic with the permission and the blessing of the artists, their works, their beauty, and their creativity here to the US, to Virginia, and offering it to the community, the local community in Hampton Roads and beyond, because we have people, we've linked in with people from New York, DC, California, London, Paris, Cape Town, it's becoming global. Though we're rooted in, expanded to exponential degrees, yeah.
So that sort of this diaspora dimension of it speaks to this term you have been using, Afropolitan. So the African version of cosmopolitan. Speak more a little bit about that, this notion of Pan-Africanism and Afropolitanism.
And it really resonates with what I'm about, my own expression, my purpose in this lifetime. Though I didn't create that word. The first time I heard it, it just kind of like hit me deep. And it basically speaks to the Africans in the diaspora and on the continent and what we bring to the table. The flavor, the verve, the vibrancy, the color, the magic that we have and that has survived colonialism, enslavement, segregation, systemic racism, the list goes on. But that energy, which is the founding energy of humanity, of civilization, because we all come from Africa, ultimately. That energy is strong, it's healing, it's powerful, it's beautiful, it's lovely. And so it's Afropolitan. And that's what is driving what we do at Pure Lagos. And we connect with all others out there who are spreading the Afropolitan vibe, the African essence, the African energy. Yeah.
Well, I certainly feel it. And speaking of origins, I think that's such a wonderful way to frame this collaboration in a way, because one of the origins of this concept between us was to offer these paintings and this energy and this enthusiasm that you have in conjunction with the U.S. Africa Leaders Summit. And so we are downtown DC, 7th Street, across the street from the convention center. And currently going on out there is this huge U.S. Africa Leaders Summit, and there are heads of state here, and it's a big deal.
Yeah.
And I feel like we have been trying to, I think we've succeeded in embodying the spirit of that culture and that diplomacy together, and how trying to heal these links and create a new foundation for those relationships going forward. Speak a little bit about that diplomatic side of what you're doing and how the art fits into that for you.
Yeah, well, this exhibition that we're popping up at Four Corners Art and Books is called Umoja. And Umoja is the first principle of Kwanzaa, and it means unity. And so what drove that theme for this exhibition is the US Africa Leaders Summit. Because what Africa needs more than anything else is unity. A lot of Pan-Africanists, a lot of amazing leaders throughout the continent during the independence movement in the 60s were pushing for African union. So bringing all the countries together into one, the Organization of African Unity.
Right.
Yeah. And that never really kicked off to the level that people, those original leaders envisioned. So in our small little way, we're bringing that energy back right across from the summit, saying, let's talk about getting together in a unified front, a unified force to heal the continent and to heal the world. Because I believe, and my business partner, Joseph Nwabungu, who's currently in Lagos, has always felt that the solution for the world's challenges resides in Africa. That you cannot expect to solve global issues until you solve the African continent's problems. Yeah. So through art, we aim to solve those problems in a small but powerful way. Because art is a language that is universal and it speaks in a way that everybody can hear. Even children, even people with disparate value systems and expectations and opinions can look at the same work and be moved in a beautiful way by it. So what we have here is a collection of African artists' works that really speak to the soul about coming together, about unifying, about healing the wounds of humanity through the sharing of creativity, the sharing of beautiful things, priceless things, things that it's like my soul speaking to your soul, giving to your soul. And then there's a reciprocity, there's a synergy, there's an exchange. And that's what happens through art. Yeah, the artist makes the art, which is healing for her, for him. The viewer looks at the art and it's transformed. And then so there's that thinking, that soul healing, and which is unifying, Umoja. Yeah.
So sort of elevating above those differences of culture and opinion, perhaps belief systems, sort of connecting with that sense of beauty and sense of healing. And that's really powerful. I hear this project is very much about that too, trying to, not erase difference, because that's what makes us who we are, but to really bring these different ideas and these different cultural forms into a shared space where that sense of elevation can sort of take flight. So grateful that you're here, you're sharing these beautiful insights, sentiments, and maybe tell us a little bit about this piece right here, for example. If you
Yeah. So this is Godwin Adeshoye, and he's a Nigerian artist from the Yoruba peoples. And he did a lot of work during the COVID lockdown to sort of deal with the stagnant energy that was created by that forced stay-at-home time. And this is one of the works in that series that he did. And it's very interesting because this work doesn't really fully illustrate, like the other ones in the next room, what he was kind of going for. He was doing a study of the female form. Yeah. And within that study, he did a few of the works which are views outside of his window. So if you can imagine, he has a woman in the studio that he's painting, and then he glances out the window in intervals during that process and works on another painting of what he's seeing outside. So this is a very sensual, soft rendering of what he's viewing as sort of a bleak environment minus all the activity that would normally be there because of COVID.
Right.
Yeah. So it's, when you look at this, it's also good to look at the female forms that he's done, so you can understand what he's playing at, you know, what he's trying to kind of illustrate and describe. Yeah, so it's very beautiful. It's a Lagos scheme. This is an umbrella that's usually used for marketplace or hawkers that they call it. They sell out on the road, but there's no one there. Because during COVID, you couldn't sell, yeah. So yeah, it's very beautiful. Yeah.
Thank you so much. If it's okay, I would like to say that these are for sale here. And please do, if you're in the area, come by and take a look at all of these fabulous, just amazing, really just beautiful pieces that Sita has brought to DC, and get to know this concept of Umoja and unity. And if there was one other thing about that notion that you want to share, or what your mission is, what would that be?
Yeah, I would really like to add that this is a collective mission. It's driven and centered by and on Africa and the diaspora. But this is a whole earth. This is for all the peoples, all the living beings, everything and everyone is included. This is a concept that is not exclusive. It's Umoja, it's deep unity of all. And so it includes everything that we are all dealing with right now, including the earth. Yeah, it's a healing on every level, across the board, no one and nothing excluded, all healed.
That is a powerful vision, and I think it's so needed. And I'm converted. I'm with you.
Umoja,
Umoja,
yeah.
and that just it really resonates.
So in Swahili, what you could say is, someone would greet you and they would say, "Habari gani?" And that means, how are you doing, or what's happening? And then you would say, "Umoja." Yeah. So habari gani.
Umoja.
So
Thank you so much. And I hope we can do this again. And we will be here for 2 more days. And Art will be here through the end of the month, or some of it. And we're just thrilled that you're here.
Thank you.
I'm so grateful again. I say I'm grateful a lot these days. That's something that I think we can also sort of live into throughout the year. So again, thank you so much, Sia.
You're so welcome.
Okay,
Thank you.
to you. Thank you all.
Yeah.